is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness, yes, time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Oh my goodness, yes, time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Oh my goodness, yes, time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Oh my goodness, yes, time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Oh my goodness, yes, time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
What's up?
Welcome to the AM Hookah Podcast. And we're live in 3, 2, 1.
What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is, yes, it is the AM Hookah Podcast, back for a very special edition. I don't even know where to begin. First and foremost, this is a very special congratulations episode in terms for 4,000 members in Hookah University, and I thought it'd be fun to do a throwback of sorts. Even though this is not Thursday, I still thought it'd be fun to do a throwback and to say hello and try to have some fun. But it is not me here by my lonesome. No, in fact, we are joined by a whole heck of a lot of people that I'm going to start introducing. Even though I may talk a lot, I swear I'm not the only one that's going to be here today. We need to go ahead and welcome to the stream right away my good buddy and friend, and the Batman to me is Robin. This is the Adrian, the Eternal Hunter. How are you doing, Adrian? What are you up to? What are you smoking? What's going on? How are you doing? I don't even know what to say.
A lot of questions to answer in order. I'd like to start with, I've always thought of myself as the Robin in this situation, but I'm honored.
No, never.
to be the Batman.
You are the Batman.
Man, I'm good. Real quick to get out of the way, I'm smoking. This is funny. I should probably show it, but I'm afraid if I move my webcam, it'll destroy the connection like we tend to do. I've got my DSH Heavy hooked up with an 80-foot Hispania, and I've got a layer pack of strawberry, cane, and cashmere on the bottom with Dulce Banana and Houdini Secret up top, all fluffed. Hookah University has been warping my brain. It's been packing weird, and I'm good to answer that other question. I'm awesome. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be trying some different things just to make it look really nice and presentable. And so we are live right now in both Facebook on, I believe, just on Hookah University. And then we're also live on YouTube as well. We got to do some huge shout outs right now because there are so many people that are watching, and I don't want to forget somebody that I know I might, so I apologize. But hello, Tanner. Hello, Bilu. Hello, Ren. Hello, PJ. Hello, the Hookologist. Hello, Paul. How are you doing? Hello, Caleb. Hello, Raul. Diamond Roberts. Chris Devaliangio. Everybody is stopping by and saying hello. Rose F. Death. Oh, my gosh. These are names that I didn't think that I would say ever again. And then also on Facebook, Bob is watching as well. If you are watching, regardless which one it is, we have somebody monitoring the chat on both of them, or at least doing the best. So if you have something to say, please go ahead and say it, and we will do our best to grab those comments and try to mention them in some capacity. I don't even know where to... Kyle Smith just stopped by as well. How are you doing, Kyle? Hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead, and I got notes. I have notes, and I need to try.
I see them. I see the notes. They are here.
Get back on task. All right. So we have some fun stuff planned for today. While this might not be a normal episode, we can go ahead and try to find our best way to have some fun. I have a game planned. It's a very minor game. I think it's going to be a really good time. And we're also going to look back at some Hookah University memories as well, and shout out some really fun moments. I need some water. I need to stay hydrated. My mouth is already getting so dry in all of this.
This is at least a middle shelf wine type situation.
Middle shelf wine. Before the show started, I tried to ask Adrian. I said, have you switched from Tito's to red wine? Have you sophisticated yourself? Is that it?
No, it's so I was just camping last weekend and there was a lot of Tito's and I got hungover. So now it's red wine.
Wine.
It's a transitional situation.
I see. Okay. So it's not about being classy. It's just about trying not to get that same hangover again. Got it. All right. So let's go ahead, and before we get into all the absolute fun that we're going to be going over as well, let's go ahead and say hello to another awesome member of the show. We got to go ahead and take a pit stop in the Smoke It. It's Pack It, Poke It, Smoke It. Make sure you go and visit Mr. Bracken Cox over on Instagram. You got to check out the awesome stuff that he's doing. I was going to have a bracket cam, but sadly I did not have time to make sure to have that situated. So instead, we are going to just stop in right away and say hello to Mr. Bracken Cox. Bracken, how are you doing today, and what are you smoking?
Hey, Matt. Hello, Adrian. What's going on?
Not much. I'm just trying to enjoy this thing that we haven't done in such a long time that I feel nervous doing this, Bracken.
I honestly forgot how to juggle my screens.
I almost didn't have you go live when I switched to the scene with you in it. So I know what you're talking about. Oh my
What's going on? How's everybody doing?
I mean, I'm doing good. I think that might be a fun place to start now that we have you on screen, and we'll get back to Adrian as well in a minute. But what have you been up to since the end of the AM Hookah podcast, Bracken? That's a great question. There we go.
I lit my aspirations on fire, aimed for the moon, and I landed among the stars. I've been moderating Hookah University, helping grow the page. We've been doing awesome things over there. Arguably one of the best pages on Facebook for American Hookah-related content. Check us out.
Yeah.
Plug.
Yeah.
What else is going on, man? I decked out my office, turned it into a studio, and me and Chris Fernandez have been Dr. Noob Sauce. Though we are on a pause because of the COVID, we did start a YouTube channel, so Hookah Advocates is a thing now. I found out that I like taking photos, and I started an Instagram based on this awesome mantra that I think everybody in the hookah community should adopt. It's simple. It's easy. You can't forget it. It's pack it, poke it, smoke it. It's what you do every time you load a bowl. But also, it just kind of exemplifies this idea of smoke what you like what you smoke, and if someone's going to tell you different, they're an asshole.
I will not disagree with that at all. You have been up,
but you are allowed to disagree without being an asshole. But it's very complicated, but it is simple.
Can I be an asshole and agree?
If you want.
Sweet. We're good.
I have to say, Bracken, you have definitely kept yourself extremely busy, especially in the world of hookah. Obviously, you're moderating Hookah University, and that's the reason for this show right now. Is a huge shout out to all the moderation team, everybody over there, Travis Leader, Jeremy Bird, Wayne Gonzalez, Paul Silao, Tony. What's Tony's last name? What is Tony's last name? Paul Mary, yes. And then who else is on your Bob and Bob as well. Yes.
Me, Bob, and we just added Mario Kalfa.
I did not see that. Congratulations, Mario. Great guy. I've hung out with him so many times. Such a wonderful person to hang out with. But University is absolutely awesome. No matter what Travis Leader in the chat says right now, University is the best. It is not the worst. Don't even say that at all. But it has been such a fantastic ride being around for University in the beginning and all the way through what's happening right now. You've been at a forefront of that for such a long time, and you've helped out in so many different ways to Hookah University, and it's just so awesome to see the growth and everything that's happened inside of it. I love watching the Hookah Advocate videos that you and Chris were doing when you were able to. Obviously, I love the Instagram stuff that you do as well with Pack Mats and with Poke It, Pack It, Smoke It as well. And then
Pack it, poke it, smoke it, but you'll get it eventually.
I will. That's why none of my bowls ever turn out well. But the other thing,
it before he packs it, I see.
the other thing that you're doing right now, Bracken, which I think needs another huge shout out as well, is the work that you're doing for the hookah battle. You are being a contestant. You are a trailblazer, I would say for sure. And what recently did you take in part of when it comes to the hookah battle?
Oh, yeah. So with the whole worldwide pandemic, Hookah Battle created some online Hookah Battle content, and they opened it up so that everybody from across the world could compete head-to-head, mano-a-mano, bowl, poker, and see who has what it takes to do the things that they're asking you to do. So last month, July, over the 4th of July weekend, they did a competition where it was to see who could prepare a hookah blindfolded and put on a show. So that's what I did. I took third, had a great time. There's a video floating around somewhere. You can find it. And it was an awesome time. I really enjoyed it. And I'm actually, September 1st, entered into the second online battle, which is the mixed story region battle. And basically, you take your home region, where you're from, what's around you, what you see, talk about it, make a bowl that represents that. So I took the spirit of Florida and I made something called the Sunshine Smoke. It's a mix. I mixed it up. I tested it. I loved it. And I packaged some up and mailed it all the way to Russia. So,
so you did not make your pack that included everything about Florida involving old people then, correct? You did not. You skipped out on the old people part of it.
Okay. Here's a question maybe for Adrian. If Tangiers was in my mix, would you say that maybe that subtlety, that dark molasses, earthy tone could represent dead people, old people?
I think so, yeah. Like the reason
connecting to earth, the graves, people come here to die.
You get that dirt, right?
Yeah.
Where we go, when we get older.
Hopefully.
Not till
or
then.
you blow away and then you land in the ocean.
Oh.
You know what?
That's fantastic. We're going to welcome another member to the show real quick before we kind of get into some of the other parts of the show as well. We're going to welcome a fourth member of the AM Hookah team, somebody that was brought in when we first got into season number 3. Both Bracken was brought in, and then also Captain Wetbeard was also brought in. Captain Wetbeard, Austin, we're so happy to have you with us as well, hanging out with us right now. How are you doing? What have you been up to since AM Hookah podcast ended? And what are you smoking right now? I know I asked like 15 questions to welcome somebody in, but that's how I flow today, I guess.
All right, well, let's get to it bullet style. I'm doing well. I've been doing the same ever since the podcast ended, and currently I'm smoking a mix that I packed 2 days ago and forgot to smoke. Dark Side Cola. I know a hookah smoker never normally does that, right? Where you pack a bowl and you don't smoke it. Anyways, Dark Side Cola and Exo from Element.
What is
Very
Exo?
tasty.
What is Exo?
It's still to be determined.
Okay.
I had a professional nose smell it, and there was definitely detections of raspberry and pineapple. Though a lot of people will also say that there's citrus tones and things like that in there. It's hard to research, though, because in Russia, not only is Exo a popular flavor of ice cream, which is raspberry pineapple, but it is also a brand of ice cream. Like, there's a brand called Exo, like it's their Ben and Jerry's, and they make all sorts of flavors. So like, it's kind of hard to narrow it down when you're searching across Google with, translated pages and all that.
Interesting. Well, that's awesome.
I've done my research, and I had to consult a professional smeller.
Oh, there you go. It's interesting when we start talking about flavors that come all the way from across the pond and stuff, because they have different references to things that we don't have, right? Like a green mist, which I always think tastes very much like a Smirnoff Ice or like maybe a Sahara Mist. They don't have those things over in Russia the same way that we do. So like when I try to describe the taste of it, I'm like, yeah, it kind of tastes like a Sahara Mist or like a Smirnoff Ice. They're like, what the hell is that thing? And it's like, well, it's like this. And they're like, yeah, that's what we taste. It's like, yeah, it's like that. It's like, no, we don't have that. So it just turns into a big ramble of stuff, obviously. But yeah, it's great to have you on the show with us. We're going to be stopping by and saying hello to you again, I'm sure. We're going to be talking about memories of Hookah University. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things. We're going to be trying to grab stuff from the chat already. The chat is exploding, okay? I'm sorry that I'm not able to keep up with all the great stuff that you guys are saying over in the chat already. Raul says, Captain Pistachio, because you are such a big pistachio fan. Diamond Robert says, hey, it's my twin. You guys were separated at birth. We found out later in life, actually at member 4,500. That's when you guys meet each other's biological father. I don't know if you knew that or not. That's when we have an episode of Maury, and we all go on together. But that's to be determined for now. Yeah, you're invited too, Adrian. You're invited too.
I've always wanted to meet my dad.
So before we get too dark, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye for a moment to Austin and to Bracken. And me and Adrian are going to take back over for just a little while. And we're going to get back into kind of the swing of the show a little bit. So, Adrian, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, I think, the same kind of question I was asking them, is what have you been up to since the ending of the AM Hookah podcast?
Oh, a lot of the usual suspects. I've been smoking a lot of hookah. Just because the podcast ended doesn't mean that passion went away. I think I smoke more hookah now, actually. We've got all this crazy stuff coming to the States that you can just get now. So I'm just buying it. Who needs money? That's stupid. I am like head first into a project right now that's like, that's super relevant to this, but you asked. So I've got a new YouTube channel with a whole different subject matter. A lot of people maybe used to watch Technical Difficulties in that era. We did game streams, and I played some Magic the Gathering. I've got an entire channel focused around that. It's called Neon Mushroom if you have an interest in it.
Yes.
All one word.
Yes, everybody go and find Neon Mushroom, all one word. And I just have to say, that is like the most legit name. I love the name Neon Mushroom. That sounds so fucking cool. And it I love it. I think it's great. And I already subscribed to it as soon as I found out about it. And I'm going to start watching it. I'm a big fan of Magic the Gathering too, but I just am not nearly as involved in it as you are.
It's a shame. If you would have subscribed 2 hours earlier, you could have been subscriber number 100.
I would have loved that. That would have been such an interesting...
You know what? I'm going to delete someone and we'll just say you were.
Complete the circle right there.
Exactly. Perfect. Other than that, yeah, that's been a lot of it. And with this whole pandemic, just spending a lot more time with my very close inner circle. But it's been good. It's been really good. Although this is something I didn't know I missed so much until we did it again. This feels a lot of fun. I think it's important to get the intentions out on Front Street right away, so everyone doesn't have like their hopes up or anything. This really is a one-off. It absolutely is just a one-off. Trust me. I love being here and talking about hookah and tobacco with Adrian and Bracken and Austin, and it really is an awesome, strong passion of mine. But this is definitely a one-off that we wanted to do something special for Hookah University, because we are all of us are so
close to it in so many ways, and to celebrate 4,000 members, it just feels like something. So this is the one thing that we can do, and that's kind of the way that me and Bracking were drunk. Okay. Let's get to the brass tacks real quick. That's how this actually came about. We got drunk, and I was like, "Hey, we should do this thing." And I thought Adrian was talking with me, and I was like, "Adrian, you want to do this thing?"
Caleb, not me.
Yeah, it turns out me and Bracken were just totally being hosed, by the way. Turns out you cannot trust some people's kids. That's what it turns out, right? Right, Bracken? That's what we learned. He's shaking his head profusely at the moment. But we thought it'd be a fun idea, so I literally messaged Adrian the next day. I got on a phone chat with him, and I was like, "Hey, Adrian, how you doing?" And he looked at me like I was crazy, and now I understand why, because it wasn't him in it. And I was like, "Hey, remember that thing that you agreed to the other night?" And he's like, "What thing that I agreed to the other night?"
I mean, to be fair, I pretty much immediately agreed to this when you propositioned me.
Yes, it just sounded, you know what, it fit. It sounded like it'd be a fun time, and I think that we are, I don't know, it feels really nice to be in this situation.
4,000, such a big deal.
It is.
And the big thing is like, Hookah University is really good about vetting through who gets to be a part of Hookah University. They try to make sure it's, not toxic, and that it's just this informative, fun place to be for this hobby, in some cases lifestyle, that everyone kind of is a part of. And that just feels like a reason to celebrate a little bit, to me at least.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't double your comments more, because that is the absolute truth. This does feel like something that is worth celebrating, and I'm so glad to be a part of that celebration in some way. There are so many people in the chat right now, once again, just going off, and there's a lot of people playing games. None of the games are set up properly, because there's a lot of things that I haven't done for a long time. So like me, here's my little tidbit of kind of what I've been up to since the end of AM Hookah Podcast. I started another branding hookah thing for a little while called Morning Hookah. I did that for about 3 months or so, and life things happened, and I was unable to continue with that. So ever since then, I've taken a big break from being like involved in like hookah stuff. I still smoke hookah. I smoke as much as I did before, probably, but I do smoke a lot differently now. Like when I was involved in the world of like doing stuff in hookah, I would make sure that I smoked everything, and that I would have an opinion on everything, right? It was really important that I was informed on everything. But now I just smoke Static Starlight. That's all I do, is just smoke lots of Static Starlight, and I put mint in it. Like today, I'm smoking Static Starlight with a little bit of my Twice the Ice Extreme. That is what I am smoking inside of my Like Smoke.
You dead ass bought that stuff?
What, the Twice the Ice?
That's cold, man.
It's good. It's so tasty.
Cold.
It's like it's similar to Supernova in the sense of the coldness, but it's sweet. It's very different. It's not Supernova. Supernova is just cold. This is chilly and sweet, in my opinion. I love it, and that's what I do. I smoke a lot of Static Starlight. I'm waiting to open up another package of Static Starlight right now. Like, that is how much I just smoke that. Like, every night, I come downstairs, I look at my shelf, and I'm like, what should I smoke tonight? And I'm like, I'm just going to smoke Static Starlight. That sounds good. Let's see what else is going on in here. Time to start a petition. Don't start a petition. We will, let's see, should I jump in and say hi? You can no longer come in here anymore, Caleb, ever again. You're not allowed in my room anymore. Let's see, and then obviously Bilu, what is up, Pots and Pants? How are you doing, Bilu? It's so nice to see you. So I was originally just going to go to Facebook and do the live, because it's to celebrate Hookah University, obviously, but we have a large following from the days of YouTube that it felt weird to do a comeback episode of some kind and not do something on YouTube as well.
It feels like it would be a bit backhanded.
Agreed.
To everyone that hasn't unsubscribed due to inactivity.
I know, and it's so awesome to see so many people here. There's newer people from afterwards a little bit that discovered us, and they were like, hey, you guys are so cool. This is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, we kind of stopped doing this. Like, oh, that sucks. So I apologize, but hey, you got something new, at least for a little while, that you check it out. What is up, Derek? Moses in the chat as well. So exciting. He says that he does the exact same thing when it comes to smoking, except just Dark Beam. That's what he enjoys, is Dark Beam from Eternal Smoke. A great brand. Really? Fantastic stuff.
Eternal Smoke's coffee line is off the hook.
I have not had Dark Bean. I need to try that one.
You should try everything. Other than chilled wine, every single flavor is so good.
No.
Chilled wine.
No, it's fantastic.
Kind of like a ketchup smoothie situation.
No, it's not ketchup smoothie at all. What are you talking about? You crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the notes now and see if we can get started into a little bit of the show and the minutia of the fun stuff that we have going on here. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to welcome back onto the screen Bracken, and we're going to do a little bit of a game show. This is gonna be fun. This is you guys know how wonderful the games that we play here on the AM Hookah Podcast is. Well, this is another one. So you think you know? Let's see if the smoke will flow. I don't have a jingle. I don't.
You're channeling your Rhett from Rhett and Link a lot. I like.
You know that's been our thing, just to rip off those guys.
Yeah.
This is a game show. So you think you know. Let's see if the smoke will flow. This is how it works. I'm going to give you 3 clues, and you're going to attempt to tell me the brand and the flavor. If you get them on the first clue, you get 3 points. If you get it on the second clue, you get 2 points. If you get it on the last clue, then you get 1 point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. And if you don't get it at all, obviously nobody will get any points. So it's
did the others know that you sent me the cheat sheet with all the answers?
I did not think I did. Did I accidentally do that?
No, you didn't.
Oh,
you didn't. I was trying to stir shit.
I got real scared. I was like, I'm pretty sure I used a completely different Google Drive than the old Google Drive that we used to use, but I may not have. So I didn't know for sure. I did not know for sure. All right. So I have 8 flavors on here. I thought that'd be a good amount because there's 3 answers for each one, or 3 points possible, so you're going to have odd numbers. Hopefully, there's not like a sudden death. Otherwise, we're SOL, and we'll see what happens then. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. So to make it so I can see kind of who guesses, what we'll do is just have you quickly raise your hand like that, and you'll take a guess. If you raise your hand and you make a guess on the first clue, you cannot make a guess on the second clue. Understand?
Well, what about the third clue?
So if you were to lose it on the if you answered on the second clue, right, then you would not be able to make a guess on the next clue after that unless the other person doesn't get it. Make sense? Kinda makes sense.
Very much sense is being made.
All right, here we go. I am not monitoring the chat anymore, Captain Wetbeard. If you notice any interesting chats, if you could send that to our personal chat that we have, and we will try to throw them in sporadically throughout this thing. But let's go ahead and get it started.
So, any of you in the chat think you know an answer? Feel free to DM me directly, not the chat, me.
There's like a certain amount of time that passes between us and the live, right?
I know. I'm just being hopeful and a little petty and a little bit vain.
Yeah. When was the last time you won a game? You won the last game that we played, right?
Did I?
I think
it was
you
a
did.
fluke if I did. I'm bad at these.
I think you beat Derek on the Eternal Smoke game.
Oh, it's Derek though. Okay, that's different.
All right.
You got to throw shade. They got a trophy.
Here we go. So you think you know. Let's find out if the smoke will flow. Here is your very first clue for the very first flavor. This is a classic hookah tobacco flavor. Classic hookah tobacco flavor.
Is this how it works? I raised my hand and now I can answer?
Yeah, I didn't even see you do it, so it didn't work at all. But yes, you go.
Double apple.
It is not double apple. Apple. So now do you want to take a guess on this one, Bracken? Yes or no?
The first clue is what?
The first clue is a classic hookah tobacco flavor.
And it's not double apple.
It's not double apple.
Is it Pan Ras?
It is not Pan Ras. Also, I guess you don't have to say the brand because it's going to be a given with a lot of these, but if you want to, you can. All right, so now...
They're actually DMing me answers, so I will be putting my phone down.
These people are far too nice to you. All right. So now we're moving on to the second clue. Bracken will get the very first answer of the second clue. The second clue is it has a cult following.
Cashmere.
It is not Cashmere Peach. So far you know that it is a classic hookah flavor and it has a cult following. Adrian, do you have a guess for this one?
Cult following, and you said it's not brand specific on this one?
Well, it is, but if you know the flavor, then you'll automatically know what the brand is.
Rats.
I know what it is.
Bracken knows what it is.
Well,
so I'm just gonna shoot.
Well, you get the next guess, and I can give you the final clue.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You might as well
If
guess
I-
now.
I guess now. Do I get to?
It's a free
raise-
guess. It's a free guess.
Free guess?
Yeah.
Rats. Not rats. Not my answer. Not my final answer. I don't know. Like alfalfa lemon mint.
It is not lemon mint, but you get the next first guess on this final clue, which I think you should get this. I'm not gonna lie, you should probably get this. Okay.
Setting up for failure. Nice.
No, the final clue for this is it is the unofficial flavor of the AM Hookah podcast.
Oh, Starbucks Blue Mist.
Starbucks Blue Mist. Adrian takes the
Oh.
lead, getting the
1
very
point.
first one with 1 point in Adrian's corner. Adrian, you now have 1 point. Congratulations. I think I have this set up correctly so that it shows off the numbers. Does it not? Shit.
Derek's throwing me so much shade in the chat.
I think this is going to work. I think you should be seeing his numbers of
The AM Hookah podcast, where we.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey!
Oh my gosh, that was
Matt, mics are
terrifying.
on. Everyone just consented to giving me a 4-point lead.
Is that what happened? I did not notice that at all. All right, let's move on
Caleb's
before.
calling me a messenger.
What?
Caleb's calling me a messenger.
Tell Caleb to piss off. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
Jeremy said I have to pack on lemon mint.
Here we go. We are moving on to the next one. This is flavor number 2, and you guys are. Adrian is 1 point, and Bracken is 0 points at the moment. All right, here we go. First clue for the second flavor. This first clue is true OG. True OG. Is that a hand raise, Adrian? Is that a hand raise? That is a hand raise from Bracken. I see it. Bracken, what is your guess?
Triforce.
It is not Triforce. Triforce is an interesting one because it probably wouldn't count unless you were saying Ugly's Triforce, because Triforce is not technically a flavor. Technically. All right. Let's move on.
I mean, it is. Triforce. Is that what you just said?
It's not Triforce. All right. Do you want to take a guess for this one? And before I give the second clue, you get a free guess, basically. You'll get this and the next one.
True OGs.
True OG.
Knockla Double Apple.
It is not Knockla Double Apple. It is not Knockla. Good guess, though. Good guess. All right, second clue. Second clue is can't go wrong with adding to the mix. And you get the first guess. So it's a true OG, and you can't go wrong with adding it to a mix.
Alfalfa mint.
It is not alfalfa mint. Bracken, do you have a guess?
Is it cane mint?
It is cane mint. Congratulations, Bracken. You are actually taking the lead with this because you're getting 2 points. It is Tangier's. Oh, I mean, what brand is it, Bracken? What brand?
You said it doesn't have to be brand specific.
It sort of is. There's only one cane mint. There's only.
Okay.
I'm not
So
saying
then
you don't have
there's
to.
only one cane mint.
Yes, I know. yes, you're right. All right.
The one by Tangiers.
It is cane mint. Cane mint. It was the winner of that one. Now we're moving on to the third flavor. The third flavor. We have a lead right now of Bracken with 2 points, and we have Adrian with 1 point. Moving on to the next flavor. The next flavor, the very first clue, became one of the most popular flavors on Facebook. Adrian, that is your first guess.
So you didn't give me a timeline on when this became very popular, but and this might be a thing that was more popular on the forums, but I figured I'd just shoot in the dark.
I will say it is Facebook specific. This became very popular because of Facebook, in my opinion.
Rats. I don't think my answer's the one then. But I am just going to say Cashmere Peach.
It is Cashmere Peach. It is Cashmere Peach. I agree that this is a popular flavor. I'm not saying it's not a popular flavor, but I would say that there became a very big popular swing of Cashmere Peach and what else and all those kinds of different things that happened with it. So Cashmere Peach is definitely the answer. So congratulations. You scored.
Flavor ever created.
You got yourself 3 points, moving you all the way up to 4 points. You are now up to
4,000. Sorry.
4 points. 4 points. 4 points to 2 points for Bracken. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our fourth flavor. This is going nice and quick. I'm glad. I was worried that I was not. Anyways, let's. So yeah, here we go. Here we go. The first clue for the fourth flavor: if you add cream to an old school favorite.
What?
If you add cream to an old school favorite.
Add cream.
I have nothing.
If you have no guess, if neither one of you wants to take a guess, I will just move on to the second clue.
Well, we might as well guess, right?
Well, I mean,
Well, if you guess, you can't answer the first and the second one,
right?
So I'm gonna resign.
It's up to you, Bracken. Are you gonna make a guess or not?
For my guess.
No?
To the second round.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next one. It is. I like my clues. I'm sorry.
He's so self-righteous.
Okay. First clue was if you add cream to an old school favorite. Second clue, Derek was not a fan of this flavor. Bracken.
Is it peppermint milkshake?
It is peppermint milkshake from Trifecta.
Derek didn't like that flavor?
Derek was not a fan of that flavor.
So you add what, cream to cane mint and you get peppermint milkshake?
Yeah, if you add creaminess to, mint in general is an old school favorite and stuff. So yeah, you have tied it up. You have tied it up. We are 4-4 right now with this game. With the if you think you know, well, let's see if the smoke will flow. I think that was what I called it. All right, let's move on. I'm so proud of my clues. Okay.
So trying to tell you a joke, but they can't get to the punchline because they know it.
Number 5 flavor, the fifth flavor now. The fifth flavor, the first clue. I'm not just your father.
I'm not just your father.
I'm not just your father.
Resign.
I'm not just your father?
I'm not just your father.
Yo, these are super, super meta clues.
Well, they have to be hard for the first one. They have to, obviously.
What is the fugazi that is this clue bank?
Can you say that again?
The fugazi.
No, that's all you get.
Fugazi.
This whole thing might just end up being a fugazi, guys. All right.
Let's go to the second clue because I don't think me and Adrian have any idea what you're trying to get.
Second clue. Second clue. Second clue. Over the sea, use this as a bowl and a flavor. First clue, I am not just your father. Second clue, overseas, they use this as a bowl and a flavor. Somebody in the chat.
How much red yarn did you have to use when you're stringing?
This is a good one. This is a good one. There's going to be somebody in the chat that's screaming out the name.
Is it Banana Papa?
It is Banana Papa. That was good, right?
This is bullshit.
It was good. Do you want to hear what the last one was going to be?
I really do.
The last clue was pretty easy. It was Dark Side Papa.
Wow, that would have been the clue right there.
Well, yeah, obviously the last one's supposed to try to give it away so somebody gets a point. That's kind of the point. But you got 2 points off of that, Bracken. You are now moving yourself up into the lead with 6 points to Mr. Adrian's 4 points.
Adrian, you're losing.
I'm so used to it, I can barely even tell.
All right, here we go. We're moving on to our sixth flavor. Our sixth flavor now. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so the first clue of the sixth flavor is before Dark Leaves took over.
And that's supposed to be a flavor.
Well, yeah, there's good. It is a flavor. Okay, let me rephrase it a little bit. This flavor was popular before Dark Leaves took over. It's still a popular flavor, but it was more in vogue before Dark Leaves took over. In vogue. Go, Adrian.
I'm going to keep guessing Alfaker double apple till it's right.
It is not Alfaker double apple. It is not Alfaker double apple. Are you, okay, do you want to take a guess just to throw one in the wind, Bracken?
Sure. Is it Zagul?
It is not Zagul. That's a good one. Oh, man, I should have had that on the... Wow, that was a good one. That was a good guess. Shit. All right, no. Now next clue. Next clue. One part of the Triforce. and Bracken gets the first guess. One part of the Triforce, and the first clue was before Dark Leafs took over.
You got a 33.3% chance.
I am forgetting what's in Triforce right now.
Oh, I have a 33.3% chance.
Blueberry.
It is not blueberry. And now it is Adrian's turn.
I mean, I want to say mint. I'm not locking in mint as my final answer. I am elaborating.
We only have two choices.
Right. It's a 50-50. It's either mint or grapefruit because you guessed blueberry.
But which one would I do?
That's a good question. You like pink grapefruit, but that's a dark leaf. It's unwashed tobacco. By getting this answer wrong, I just guarantee I need a coin. You
will give Bracken a point if you get this wrong. That is true. Though it will only be 1 point because he took the first guess on this, so he automatically will get 1 point. So that's a kind of a shiny part.
Oh, and I just messed it up by giving away the other flavor in Triforce. I could have just kept it to myself. I'm an idiot.
You most certainly helped me out with that one.
I'm a damn idiot.
You most certainly helped me out.
I'm going to lock in my final answer as Alfacher mint.
It's not Alfacher mint.
Oh, no.
Bracken, do you have a guess as to what it might be?
Is it grapefruit?
It is grapefruit. It is grapefruit. Alfacher grapefruit. You are now.
What was the first clue for this one?
What was the last clue?
What was the first one?
The first clue was before the time of Dark Leafs took over.
I still smoke it, but that's besides the point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. People still smoke these. I'm not saying they don't. It's just, in vogue. In vogue.
In vogue.
You need to do me a little secret thing real quick. I promise that Matt isn't texting me all the answers. Send me
the next one.
I do. Send me your email really quick. Someone's requesting it, and I think it's someone that should have it.
So so the only way that you can win this, Adrian, is if you get the next one. If you get one of the next two. Okay, so there's still two left. So you still have time. You still have time to catch up, Adrian. You still have time.
Okay, but still send me your email.
I'm not sending you nothing. All
right. Your email. Someone's asking for it. It's a person you want to have it right now.
Well, can they wait a minute? Can they?
Okay.
I can't do this all at the same time.
Look, Matt, I'm not asking you to do it all at the same time.
Okay.
I'm asking you everything in succession very much quicker.
Okay, I'll try my best. Here we go. This is the seventh flavor and the first clue. I think Paul once said it was the best flavor ever. Adrian?
Man, okay, so I know there's a flavor that Paul really likes, and I know this isn't it, but I have to try to catch up. So I'm going to say Dark Side Red Tea.
No, that is not the one. That is not the answer. Bracken, do you have a guess? I think you probably have a guess.
Is this Alpha Comma flavor?
I can't. That would be cheating if I was to say something like that.
Oh, no. It's passion fruit, isn't it?
Oh, I'm going to guess passion fruit.
Oh, yes, it's passion fruit. It's passion fruit. Paul, you're in the chat. Did you at one time once say that was the best flavor ever? I think you might have.
You're forcing that, but okay.
I think he might have said that. Did he not say that? He might have.
I can't win anymore. Let's make the next one worth 10 points.
Yeah, we're going to have to because we now have 10 points for Bracken. Bracken, you have 10 points, and Adrian has 4. So that means that this first clue for the next one is going to be let's see, we need it to be a 7 point, a 7-point question. So you have the possibility of scoring it. So you have a chance to win. Ready? Okay, final one. All right, here we go. The 8th one, the first clue, worth 7 points. One time go. All right. The true Godfather. All right, go, Adrian.
Alfacher double apple.
It is not. You know what? Okay. All right. Here's the thing. It's not.
Change the answer real quick.
Here's the thing. It's not Alfacher double apple.
No, give it to Bracken. Give Bracken his not double apple.
Just say double apple. Just say double apple.
Just double apple, but give it to Bracken since it's definitely not the double apple.
It is definitely not the double apple. It is in fact definitely not the double apple.
Give it to Captain Wetbeard.
I'll give the points to Captain Wetbeard, actually. So Captain Wetbeard actually finished second in this. Bracken, what? Bracken took first place. Captain Wetbeard, congratulations. You are second place with 7 points. And Adrian sadly finished last with 4 points. Thank you. Thank you all for humoring me as you have done for such a long time in our friendship and allowing me.
Matt got 0 points, though, so.
I got last. I got dead last. I got actual last.
He gets 1 point for reading the clues. Come on.
Does that put me in last still? No, I got at least 4 points.
You got 4 points. Some of those clues are pretty good, right? I feel good about them.
Yeah, man. Let's just say yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. We have all 4 of us back on the screen right now. Captain Wetbeard, you're here as well. I thought it would be fun to oh, don't do that, Captain Wetbeard. No. Okay, so this see, this is the thing. I don't have everything set up. Otherwise, something funny would have really funny could have happened if I would have had the voice that we used to have back in the day that would do the random things. And it would have said my favorite memory of AM Hookah Podcast was all the technical difficulties, Matt laughing at his own jokes before he gets to the punchlines, and trolling Matt and the AM Hookah Streamlabs voice. Sadly, that voice is not set up. Amy I.O. is not set up on today's stream, so I apologize. Because you missed out on something that would have been amazing. All right, let's go ahead and...
It's worth a shot.
Let's go ahead and jump over to the next part of the show. We're getting closer and closer to the end, and it's so sad to see this coming to a close eventually. But we are going to start talking about some Hookah University memory shout-outs. And in the chat, if you guys have any memory shout-outs that you would like to disclose, then if you could do a question mark and then write out what it is, and then Wetbeard will be on the lookout in the YouTube chat for that. And then he'll copy and paste it so that we can talk about it in the show. But while we wait for anybody that wants to share a memory with us, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the ones that I have written down. So the very first one that I have is the Hookah University 3000 celebration, where there was a ton of giveaways that took place. There was a lot of, obviously, like that, and it seems like it was so far ago, but it really wasn't in the grand scheme of things. You guys
It was only a couple months ago.
It really was. Like, you guys have been skating by so quickly and so elegantly, and just so much fun with what's been happening inside of Hookah University. But 3000 was a huge momentum swing in the right direction, right? Like, it felt like it took a little while to get to 3000 members, and then once 3000 members hit, it was just this tumbling effect of all these other great things that happened because of it. And the giveaways that spawned from it, obviously, and some of just the cool things that were given to members of university that are contributing members to it in positive ways is always really cool. That's one thing that I'll say about this as well, kind of tied into this, is Hookah University does a really good job of giving back to members that are very active in the community. They want you to feel special for being active in the community, and they do a really good job of that. And I think that is very much worth a shout-out of sorts to me. That's like the very first one, the very first memory that I wanted to kind of shout out. What about you, Adrian, or Bracken, or even Austin? Do you guys have a memory in specific that you want to shout out at the moment?
I have like 50, but I just got hit with Hookah University's YouTube channel. Hashtag Chicago, hashtag non-disclosure agreement, hashtag Adrian, which leads me to believe my most memorable memories are behind a paywall.
Yeah, they're definitely behind a... you could say it was a 5-inch heel wall.
I'd say so, yeah. I can rip this off, right? Like, I can just skate around it and say, like, a memory that's very personal to me and it's fresh in my mind, mainly because it was only about a year ago. Is the hold on, I'll wait for Matt to stop.
I think we broke Matt.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's good. That's good.
Just the meetup itself, dude. Like, all these people who've like online handles, and whose like faces you can kind of put to a profile picture, and then you meet him in person, and it's like, wow, you smell good, dude. I love that. That's so good.
Now, who did you have that thought when you met them and you said, "Man, you smell good"? Who was that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a sharp snifferoonie.
Okay.
And most people just smell great. I mean,
did anyone stink?
Anyone stink? Was there any stinky people?
Did you meet anybody, hug them, and then go, "Ooh, I'm not gonna hug you again"?
Yeah, for legal reasons, I can't answer that.
Okay.
That's fantastic. That's great. That is yeah, the meetups are always great, right? Like that's my second one that I wanted to shout out as well was the California trip that I took. This kind of goes in line with like the California trip, the Hookah Expo Worldwide trips and stuff like that, meeting people for the first time. The Hookah California trip was a really special one to me because I got to travel to the Vapor Hookah Lounge and support Ron and Neve and go and see so many people in California and hang out and have so many fun experiences and stay up far too late every single night with Jeremy and just everybody involved in there with Paul. Raul was there as well. Chris was there. Like the entire time in California was just a fantastic, amazing exhibition of just the adventure that was California was something that like that will never leave my mind. That was so much fun. There's a video on this channel. If you're watching it right now, you can go check that out and kind of relive some of the moments that I went through with that as well. There's travel logs for the Expo videos as well, and there's also one for the Oasis trip that I did and the California trip, so you can kind of see the fun that I was able to capture. And even though I was able to do my best to try and capture all those wonderful moments, I did not nearly capture all the greatness that really was all that time spent. Like it was so much fun for so many different reasons that I just it's hard to break them all down, but it was so cool. What about you, Bracken? What's one of your memories that you have?
My favorite memory. What was the question?
Just any memory, any memory at all that you want to shout out from the
Hookah so much
university's history.
My favorite memory. Hold on, what's up?
So, okay, I'll say this with as much humility as possible, and it's an ongoing memory. Every time somebody asks to join Hookah University, we get a notification. As a mod or an admin, it pops up, says, hey, you got a request. And for me, it's always a race because I want to be first and I want to read it and I want to see if they're a bot and I want to hit accept or decline. But there have been so many times where I get a notification, 30 seconds, and I open it and all 5 people have been vetted and approved. So, just kind of a testament to just like wanting to continue to grow and just like everybody's like there, everybody's present and it's a really fun time.
And it's a memory of becoming a moderator, right? Like before, when you were just a member.
The transition from like community member and visual presenter or whatever that would pop up when you post a lot of videos or pictures to now it says moderator and getting to be behind the scenes and sometimes being a alternative voice. It's always I love it. It's so much fun.
I think that's been one of the coolest things too. To see you take on the role and become where you are inside a university has been super exciting as well. Just from like the outside looking in and stuff, I think that really is fantastic. One of the other memories that I have, if you go to the Hookah University YouTube channel, you can actually watch the Florida trip that a bunch of people from the university team all took part of. That was Tony's first time coming, or I don't think it was his first time coming to America, but it was his first time coming for the hookah events and stuff. He came down to Florida. You and Travis Leader and Jeremy, and man, there was so many people there. Paul was there. Did Eddie line up going or not? I can't remember if Eddie was there.
I don't remember a lot of it.
If you want to remember some of the things that even Bracken is forgetting at the moment, you can watch the video on Hookah University's YouTube channel because that was a fantastic event. Watching that video made me so jealous that I was not able to go to the Florida meetup because that would have been absolutely fantastic for so many different reasons. It would have been so cool.
I think it's a safe bet to say your favorite memory is anytime,
yeah,
anybody, any group of like 5 or more Hoonie members get together and just like decide to throw an impromptu frat party. That is just the bee's knees.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the Chicago meetups and stuff like that is always exciting, and I think that it goes to show you the history of university because these meetups have been happening since there was less than 1,000 people in this group. Like that's one of the cool, exciting parts about these meetups. Before there was even 1,000, there was already meetups that were happening for these sorts of things, which is just so cool. What about you, Captain Wetbeard? What is a memory from the history of Hookah University that you have?
All right, so there's a few that I would like to mention, so I'll be quick. Definitely the Arizona meetup was pretty dope. We did that back in October of 2019. That was cool. I got to meet David. I got to meet Wayne, PJ. There were a bunch of people there. That's also where I was confused as Bracken for the first time, and that was hilarious.
Won't be the last, I'm sure.
And let's see, obviously the meetup in California back in January was super dope. I got to meet Matt and I got to meet Jeremy for the first time. There were so many people there. Chris, Raul. I know I'm missing a bunch of people because we were all there. And I mean, Mario, Andrew, Paul, of course.
Isn't that
I'm
wild?
sorry, I can't name everybody because they're
out of the country, and we've both met all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a small world though, because like we're acquainted through people that we've met in person, but yet we've not met yet.
We got to change that next year at the expo, guys. We got to meet.
I've never met Redbeard. I was supposed to,
Yeah.
but he did a Fugazi double dash on me.
Fugazi.
Back when you guys all thought that I was catfishing.
That was our only thought.
I still think you might be. I don't know. CGI has come a long way. That's all I'm saying.
And then lastly, the one I wanted to shout out was Wayne and Paul. They were some of the people that helped contribute in the 3K member giveaway. And that was back, it feels like just a few months ago when Hookah University hit 3,000 members. And yeah, I got my first taste of a Russian hookah. I got that, this guy, the RF hookah back there. And like a kilo of Tangiers. It was a pretty sick haul for a giveaway. So that was special to me, of course, because, you know, I got a bunch of Tangiers and I got a whole freaking hookah. Like I had been only smoking out of like KMs and B2s before then, so it opened up a whole new world for me.
Yeah, like I said, like university does such a great job at giving back.
Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite things is that shared or collective knowledge, so that you can have everybody's experiences without actually going through those negative experiences yourself.
Yeah.
Like for example, if there happens to be a hookah that somebody buys and it's just no bueno, like you don't have to go through the experience of picking that up and learning through, you know, just manufacturer defects that it's no good. There's other people out there.
Absolutely.
Matthew.
Yes.
Not to break up your show notes, but
No, you're good.
You're a Libra, right?
I am a Libra, yeah.
Interesting. You know, I was asking for your email.
Huh?
You're gonna like this.
What?
This is from Kyle.
What's Kyle
By
want?
the way, shout out Kyle. Kyle, I'll do this publicly,
Kyle
so you have
Smith.
to accept me. I saw him earlier this year. Maybe it was last year. It was earlier this year. I'm coming back out to North Carolina to see you again, Kyle, as soon as it's kosher. Matt says, all right, I'm going to tell you so you can just say it, because he wanted to email this to you,
Oh, okay.
the actual certification. He bought you a star in the Libra constellation and named it Matic Starlight.
What? Wait, what? Wait.
That is amazing.
Wait,
So lit.
wait.
Named it Matic Starlight. That's awesome.
Kyle Smith bought a star in the Libra constellation and named it Matic Starlight? Kyle, why would you do that, Kyle? Oh my God.
I feel so much closer to you
pretty
already.
cool.
I'm going to go outside and stare at it.
I will. Yeah, I want to know the exact coordinates. I want to know exactly where I get a look at, so I can tell everybody.
Well, what's your email?
I know. I got to. I know. I'm surprised he doesn't have my email. How do you not have my email, Kyle? How do you not? But I'm gonna take my kids outside and be like, "You see that star up there? That star's named after your father."
Yeah, you can just point at any of them. It doesn't even matter.
Kyle,
But he's not that kind of father.
I love you
Not
too,
gonna
Kyle. I
just
love you,
lie.
man. Man, this has been
I think it's
fantastic.
that one, or is it that one? I don't know.
It is crazy because we are all something that Daniel told me when we were in New York together sharing a closet bedroom. He was sleeping on the floor and I was sleeping on a bed that wasn't much bigger than that. Is he said that we're all just adult pen pals, and that's what we are. And it's so cool for those reasons that we've been able to communicate over the internets as we have and share all these amazing experiences. I mean, every time Kyle has literally tricked me in believing that he's not going to be somewhere that he actually shows up and is there is just too much.
That's so good that, like, that's, first of all, that's a great That's a great like switch. When he did that to you, I think he may have hurt me as much as he hurt you.
And then he just shows up out of the
Yeah,
blue.
he shows up. It was.
I'll
thank
never
goodness.
forget seeing him in a drunken
He
stupor.
smells great.
I'll never forget seeing him in a drunken stupor and just thinking like, "Oh my god, I found Kyle Smith's doppelganger." Oh no, it's actually Kyle Smith. It's not his doppelganger at all. Man, it's fantastic. I'm going to quickly run through the chat and see if there was any memories that we might have missed. Travis Leader says, what happens in Vegas, Chicago stays in there, is what he says. I don't think that anyone will disagree with that. There for moments where we can all talk about laters. Yeah, just fantastic times, honestly. We had some questions that I will go and grab right now. If you three want to vamp for a minute, I'll try to find them.
This is a hookah. We don't sell vape. This is hookah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right. He's looking for the word vamp.
Vamp. That's the word.
Jazz term for when you
Wait,
figure out what
so
to
then
do.
why did I bring this?
Because you just always have it on you.
Oh, I was referring to the show notes.
That's illegal.
Hey, I'm 21.
No, take it back.
Wait.
Put it back.
Look at that fake hookah hanging around your neck.
Where
hookah?
It's called a personal electronic nicotine inhalant system.
Hey, let's not gatekeep. If you enjoy smoking vaping vape, I might look down on you, but you're still probably pretty cool.
I know these questions are somewhere in the university, so give me just a second.
No,
I'm sorry.
you're thinking of those the Cloud Bros Cloud guys, you know, like
oh yeah.
Okay.
The let's go to a vape comp or cloud comp, like I drive a Subaru and
yeah, totally, dude. 100%.
Another
they give us all a negative connotation. So.
Another favorite memory of Raul's is he says Kyle thought his name was Oscar. So that's a memory. That's a memory. Okay, so we got two questions and two memories. The first one is from Tristan. It says, favorite moment, this is from Tristan. It says, my favorite moment has to be hanging out in Chicago with everybody, and Travis Leader brought the extra banana BCP, and it was fire. Obviously, Tristan, a big fan of that BCP, that banana cream pie. He loved that stuff. And the extra banana was fire, is what he said. And then Tristan says, what would it take to bring back the podcast permanently? Honestly, I think that the only thing that would make that happen, Adrian, you correct me if I'm wrong, okay, is if somehow it would be legally allowed to advertise tobacco products on a podcast.
Yeah, man, I'm going to be real with you. That's actually, it's a shame that we ended the way we did, just ending it all. I think we did it. I like doing things on your own terms, you know, so deciding to end it as a group, I think was good. But this is something that, like, I enjoy doing this. I know for a fact you do. And then these boys keep showing up, so I can only make the assumption that they get some enjoyment out of it. We certainly would need them at this point to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just feel like I had other ventures I'm currently working on. And for me to do that and do this at the same time, I would put so much less energy into this, and then it wouldn't be the thing we want it to be. And then is it even still that thing? And then it's like you're half-assing it. And what's the point there? If you want to watch hookah content, you don't even have to go to YouTube. Go to Hookah University.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Or check out the hookah advocates when they can see each other in person again.
I think that one of the nice things about, and I'm not gonna I know that I have this, this thought, or not this thought about myself, but like I think sometimes I kind of show as being a very, I don't know, high on myself type person, or what's the word I'm thinking of? Like pompous, maybe would be a word, I guess. Self-righteous, maybe even. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't think those are the right ones that I'm thinking of necessarily, but like I don't think that like I personally or the AM Hookah podcast necessarily is 100% responsible for things like the Hookah-Shisha podcast that is doing a great job. If you guys are looking for hookah-based podcasting content, they do a great job. I think Bracken and Dr. Noob Sauce with the Hookah Advocates does a great job. Once again, I'm not saying that like because of this thing that those things happen in any way, and all I'm trying to say by that is that there's so much good hookah content, that there is a lot of good hookah content that's happening on a regular basis. There's no need for the AM Hookah podcast to happen permanently. Like it was always a passion project. It was always something that we love to do, and I completely agree with you that like we can't do it the same way that we did it when we first started. It's grown and it's different. We're different people with different. We are literally 4 years older than the AM Hookah podcast, right? Like,
Don't say that.
yeah, like we started this, I think either 3.5 or maybe 4 years ago now, right around that time. So like we're different people now. Like we have different things that we're doing now. Same thing with Bracken, same thing with Austin. Like this is not the same. We're not the same people. It would not be the same thing. So like it would never be the same thing to bring it back. You know, we can have those fond memories like it would, but it would be different, and who knows if it would even be as good, honestly.
And that's the thing. Like it's not just like I've got things that I'm doing, and there's 4 of us, and it's been, you know, a lot of time for all of us. You know, you, Captain Wetbeard, Bracken, they've all got things that they're doing now, you know, but that doesn't mean that the podcast, I love this podcast. I'm glad it happened. Just because it's over doesn't mean I don't fully support and love the fact that it happened. And it's been great for me. It's taught me a billion things. One, that I really like to put my face on the internet. So I got something out of it. I don't know about you guys.
Next up, Travis Leader. Travis Leader says his memory that he says on the Facebook where I asked for the questions. If you look back a year ago versus today, this is actually a question. It's not a memory. I apologize. This is a question. If you look back a year ago versus today, do you think the community has changed? If so, for the better or worse? And let's go ahead and just do this as a kind of a quick roundtable. And I think that all 4 of us have pretty different perspectives on this kind of question, so it's kind of cool to have all 4 of us to be able to answer it in a lot of ways. So I'm going to go ahead and start actually with Captain Wetbeard, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. If you look back a year ago versus today, do you think the community has changed? If so, for the better or worse?
I absolutely think it's changed for the better. I feel as though a year ago, there was a general consensus that everybody was kind of gravitating towards that search for knowledge, but there still was a little bit of what's the right word, elitism, if you will. And I think Hookah University as a community itself has done a really good job at, you know, just kind of pointing out that whole, you know, like what you smoke, don't let anybody tell you that you're doing it wrong. But at the same time, if you're here to learn, like, we have tons of stuff that we can show you, you know? So I think that definitely the community has gone in a more positive direction in the last year.
I think that's a good way to put it. I like that a lot. I think I think all those things are very true. I think university has helped eliminate some of that, the negative part of elitism. I don't think elitism is necessarily a bad thing overall, because you should feel good about having good things. I don't think that's a problem, but I do think that using it as a way to say that I am better is wrong. And I think that university definitely helps with that sort of thing, especially. What about you, Bracken? Let's go ahead and throw it over to you now. What do you think about looking at a year ago versus today? Do you think the community has changed? If so, do you think it's changed for the better or worse?
That's a hard perspective because I'm involved in the community on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So I see the change in micro installments versus, you know, having the opportunity to look at it once a week or once a month or whatever that may be. But I know from what I can say, you know, as part of the leadership team, kind of part of how like the mind hive behind everything and trying to figure out whatever it is that we do exactly. We're still trying to, probably nothing if you ask anybody, but you know, it's like trying to draw that line of what is our community and what do we want it to be. And so, you know, if you grew up on Reddit or on hookah forums, anything like that, you know, oh, you smoke a Maya, oh, get out of here, it's garbage. Or quick lights, oh, okay, you know nothing. Versus the mentality we're trying to get to current times, which is just like you guys said already, that like idea of like, yeah, I like how you said it, Matt. It's okay to have a sense of elitism and a sense of like being proud to have nice things and mastering your hobby and making your craft something you're good at. But we really want to like push our community towards that idea of like inclusivity. You know, we don't want someone to feel like they're not a part of Hookah University. And, you know, we say this and, you know, we continually struggle to be 100% with it. But for the long haul, I think it's trying to make sure that, you know, the content we put out there is informative and it's positive. And we try and, you know, we try and come down on those people in the groups that are belittling and you know, kind of spreading a little bit of toxicity. There's enough of that going on anywhere else in the world. So, you know, for us, we try and make Hookah University a place where maybe it's a oasis away from drama, you know, or whatever it is. But, you know, it's just a place you can come and smoke hookah Smoke what you like what you smoke. And, if you want to learn, a lot of us think we know a lot, and we're happy to talk your ear off about it. So as far as where the community's gone, I'm really happy and proud to be a part of it, where it is today versus where it was a year ago, even where it was a month ago. It's every day is taking a step forward and really trying to kick ass, take names, and find the best tobacco, the best pipes, and the best, whatever it is out there, and tell everybody, hey, we think this is the best, and we want you to know about it so that you can have it.
I agree. And I think that I think all those things, that's what I like about having all four of us on for this little bit of information and stuff, is we do get to see it from different perspectives. I would say that, Captain Wetbeard is very much a community member, a very strong community member, and he sees it from a different perspective than you do in the membership team, exactly what you're saying. I'm excited to hear what Adrian thinks about this question as well. I feel like we're both community members. That's what we are and stuff. I mean, we may have had some swing back in the day and stuff, but things have definitely changed for us in terms of how we interact and what we do. So, like, how do you feel about that? A year ago versus today? Like, how has the community changed? Is it for the best? Is it for the worst?
Compared to a lot of the guys in the community, a lot of the guys and gals in the community, I'm still relatively new, so I like that you phrased it as a year ago and then today, because that's a time structure that I can work with. I think both Austin and Bracken said it really, really well. There's so much less gatekeeping now, it seems like. And I do think has a lot to do with, and maybe this is an echo chamber thing, but I spend most of my time in Hookah University, and the gatekeeping has just died down so much. You got guys like Paul that go live damn near every night, just like, here's how you do this thing. And I used to fancy myself one hell of a enfranchised know-it-all hookah guy. But like I tell you, the last month I've just been watching Paul go live, and now I'm just fluffing tang and layer packing and using small spoons to pack my tobacco and stuff. It's a little wild. It's much more inviting now. Not to say that it wasn't a bad place a year ago, but if you're in a space where you're always striving for improvement, I'd say we've seen a lot of it in the last 12 months. And at 4K, with all these brand new people to this little micro community we have, let's hope that in a year, the same thing can be said about this year.
That's a good way to put it. I like that. I'm going to also. I'm gonna agree. Right? Like, I do believe that it is better today than it was a year ago. I think that we are seeing a very good forward trajectory that is positive in so many ways. I think it's great. And one of the things I like about it most, and the difference of last year to this year, is also the element of meetups. And it sucks that the pandemic hit the way that it did for lots of reasons, not just hookah, obviously. I'm not trying to be too narrow-minded in that sense, but this year was so exciting for the amount of events that was happening in the United States when it came to hookah, and it really helped legitimize this hobby that we have in such a meaningful way for us as hookah smokers that care about that kind of thing. I do care about that. I like that my hobby is meaningful in some capacity, and it's not just like this, stupid little thing that people don't really care about or isn't a real important thing. And it's not important. It's not. I get that. But it is important to hang out with people that are like-minded and you're able to have fun, good conversations with. And this year, I thought, brought about that so much. I traveled at the end of last year and the start of this year for hookah around the world. I have been to New York City for hookah. I've been to Las Vegas, to California, to Arizona. Like, I have been in the United States for hookah, and I was excited to try to go to Florida for hookah. I was excited to try to go to other locations for hookah. And, like, yes, I did that because it was, quote-unquote, my job, in the terms of, like, I was trying to be a, informed member, and I wanted to be in the forefront and be at these locations and in these places and stuff. But, like, that was growing so much, and it was growing so positively towards this year compared to last year, where there was events that you could go to and you wouldn't be wasting your time in going to them. Not that any of the events that people went to, like Chicago or anything like that, was a waste of time by any stretch. That's not the case. But it just felt so much more meaningful this year, and I think that was a really important, big growth step in terms of the community, is just the ability to go and to go with other people. I thought that was really cool. We have one more question from Travis, and I think we're probably going to end it after this. We've been going a little bit longer than I expected, so I apologize if I kept any of you guys a little later than I expected. I know I told you an hour, and we're stretching it, so I'm sorry about that. But last question from Travis Leader. It says, if you could do the AM Hookah podcast all over again, would you, A and M, do it differently? And I want to. I mean, I don't care who takes this question first. Do you want to take this first, Adrian, or do you want me to take it first?
It doesn't. Whatever you like, buddy.
Well, you can't throw it back to me the same way I give it to you. That makes it difficult to give.
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'll go first. It's hard to break down what I would do differently, because if we did anything differently, we wouldn't end up the way that we were today. Like, I'm a big firm believer in trying to live that quote unquote no regret lifestyle, because any regrets that you might have might change your course of where you are. And it is so amazing to be in the place that I am with the people that I have in my corner. There are people that's outstretched the idea of peer friends and have been there as family in times of need for myself. Like, there's very little that I could possibly want to change, because did we conquer the world, Adrian, of hookah? Did we go overseas and become the next big hookah blogger in Russia? No, we didn't. But we did do so many good things that were meaningful to me. And we accomplished so many goals and dreams that I had put in place and that I wanted to achieve and that I wanted to do. So, like, it's very hard for me to say, would I do something differently? I don't think so. I can't think of a single one thing that I could do differently that would make today better than it was had I done something different. It's too hard to say for me. So I know it's kind of a no answer, so I apologize. But for me, I don't have anything that I can think of off the top of my head that I would do differently.
I guess that's me. Well, I had you go first because I wanted to steal your answer. But after thinking about it, I'm thinking that maybe that's not the point. Did Wetbeard just change his lights and then Bracken's lights changed the same color? Kyle just made the comment that are we not going to acknowledge the synchronicity in the lighting with Bracken and Wetbeard? And I think we've acknowledged it.
I did not notice that you guys were so aesthetic right now. I did not notice that.
It's pretty good. But would I change anything? Recruit Bracken and Wetbeard sooner.
Okay, I'll get that. Yeah, I agree with that one.
That, I'll mirror everything that Matt said.
Yeah, it would have been awesome if we would have had the ability to grow quicker. That would have been so cool. That would have been fun.
Oh, and have Kyle on like 4 more times.
Kyle was such a good guest. Everybody was such a good guest. The guest that we had was always a highlight to be able to have the conversation.
And Derek on less.
I don't feel the same way, Derek. I do not. I'm glad you guys won that terrible plaque that your sister made fun of me for giving her, and those shot glass cactus cups. But I put a lot of effort into that plaque, Derek. I really did. Okay, I was proud to give you that plaque. Boy, I think that's it. I don't know how to end this, so I'm going to attempt to go back to my notes. Huh?
The old school way.
Well, I'm going to go back to the notes a little bit.
Piss off and sign off.
We do not want to leave out any of the crew that has meant so much to us, to the show over the years. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I got to start over now. I know they're very good at this. How do you do it so quickly is my question. Are you guys messaging each other? Are you telling each other what colors you want to do? I caught him. All right. We do not.
I don't know what it's talking about.
We do not want to leave out any of the crew that has meant so much to the show over the years. You know who you are. To the ones that have been here since day one, to the crew that found us later, and all the people that will see this into the future. Thank you for the support that you have shown to the AM Hookah Podcast. You can find the crew, starting with Captain Wetbeard, where?
Find me on YouTube, Captain Wetbeard. Also, straight up, hit me up in Hookah University.
Hell yeah. You can find us all in Hanks,
I know
too.
some things, and if I don't know the things, I'll be able to point you in the right direction to somebody who does.
And what about you, Bracken? Where can we find you?
If you like this face, you can find me doing Packing with Brackens on Facebook /Hookah University. I run the Instagram Pack and Poke It Smoke It. And for YouTube content, Hookah University. Hookah University maybe in the future, but Hookah Advocates for sure. And then, got to plug pack mats because, why not?
Yeah, right there. That's a pack mat. I have multiple pack mats. What about you, Adrian? Where can people find you?
Man, it's so weird that the answer is going to be so much different than it used to be.
Right?
I'll open with what's known. You know what my fucking face looks like, and you know my name, so you can find me on Facebook pretty easy. But if you want to find me on like social, pipe dream's not a thing anymore. I'm a content creator over at Neon Mushroom, Twitter, not Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and mainly YouTube and Twitch. That's all the same handle. No one took it somehow. I have it.
That is such a good name. I love it. Okay, and you can find me all over the internet as well. You can find me if you want to hear my bizarre views on different things. You can go to Twitter and find me at only Matt Dezen, at only Matt Dezen. You can also find me just on Hookah University talking about hookah stuff. Every once in a while, I go live and I try to have some fun. Don't tempt me to become Hobo Matt again, because it turns out Hobo Matt is not the best Matt, and I think it's time to put Hobo Matt down.
Matt.
I think if you just stop drinking gin.
Hey, you guys want to see something?
He was drinking gin?
He was drinking gin.
Yep, that's all that survived of that bottle that night.
The hoboist of all of the.
It's New Amsterdam gin. This isn't hobo gin. This is
faded down the rest of it, but I'm pretty sure it's Monday.
Yeah, not today, not tonight. I got other things I got to do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of the AM Hookah Podcast. We appreciate you as always. And sadly, not until next time, but no matter what, when we see you again, I hope you are always enjoying the bowl that you are smoking. And until the clouds clear, well, catch you later. Bye.
All kinds of voices you missed out on.
No, boy.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM hookah podcast. What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hailers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM hookah podcast.
Here's your host, Madam Adrian.
This is the AM hookah podcast.
Here's your host, Matt Adrian.
I need you to do it again because